Alrighty booktube, how's it going? Nikki here with a book haul that I wasn't planning to do, but it's happening. I got these in the mail and I've been waiting for them for a while and I just want to open them. Other than those, I have a bunch of books that I've bought, not as many as last time, so yay, progress. I've read a lot of these books already, so they're not like rotting on my TBR. Not that books are rotting on my TBR, okay? They're lying in wait. They're waiting for their time to shine. They are running the plays in their head and they're ready to catch the ball and do the sports. I don't know why this turned into a sports metaphor, but it did. So I have 11 books to show you today, plus the 2 that I'm going to unbox, and I'm really excited. Yay! So I did mention in my last one that I was thinking of going on a book buying ban, which I kind of did, but I had some exceptions because I knew that if I did a hard and fast, I'm not going to buy any books ever. I was going to break that and it was going to be bad. The first exception was for books that I already own. If I already own a copy of a book, then buying another copy isn't going to make my TBR any bigger now. Is it? So there are a few books that I purchased that I already had a copy of, which seems a little bit excessive, but I'll explain why. And the first one was the 10th anniversary edition. Look at the shiny! Of Looking for Alaska by John Green. I mean, look at it. It's so pretty. I love Looking for Alaska. If it had been Paper Towns or Abundance of Catherines, I wouldn't have got it, but I love Looking for Alaska and I love The Fault in Our Stars. So it's got the quote on the back, the drizzle hurricane one that everyone talks about. Got beautiful black lined pages. I can't remember what it looks like naked. Oh yeah, it's just... In my last haul, I actually showed another version of these books, but I was on Amazon and I was pre-ordering another book and I noticed these books were really cheap, like cheaper than Book Depository for the hardbacks, and postage and everything included, which is huge because to post something from Amazon to Australia, generally pretty pricey. So I got the hardback editions of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas and Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas. Holy moly, this is huge. Look at that. So I got the paperback version of these before I found the hardback version of the first book that I wanted, because I thought that I couldn't get that one so I wouldn't have matching books. So I just went and got the paperback ones. So I don't feel bad about buying the hardbacks because the first ones were so cheap. And Sarah J Maas is actually coming to Australia in December. She's coming to my city. She's gonna sign things and I want those things to be hardback. So I've already read Crown of Midnight and I will get on to Heir of Fire. I'm thinking, I'm kind of trying to draw out this because I know that the next one isn't coming out for a while. This year I'm trying to read a lot of series. I'm trying to catch up with my reading, both in series that I've started or series that I want to start but haven't yet. I want to be reading stuff that's as it's coming out and not being really far behind in a lot of things. So one of my exceptions was that I could buy books in a series where I couldn't read any further without buying a book. So I'd started the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu and I couldn't go any further without buying Prodigy, and this was kind of an impulse buy, but I'm proud of myself. I was standing in a bookstore, my phone had actually died, finished the book that I had with me already, so I was gonna be on my trip home on the bus with nothing to read or do. It's gonna be a very boring time. So I went to the bookstore, I was like, okay, I'll pick one book. And I decided that I was going to use my exception rule of buying a sequel. So I bought Prodigy. This is like a dystopian. This is already on my red shelf because I finished it. And I will be getting the third book at some point, but probably in a while. It's not a huge priority. I think I like this series, but it's just okay. So I sort of broke this exception a little bit because I haven't actually read all the books in this series up to this point. However, I did pick up The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas with the other 2 books because it was really cheap. It was actually cheaper than the other 2. And again, I was paying that postage, so I figured I'd just get the next book in the series too. So this is actually not an individual book. It's a bunch of novellas. I'm not actually sure. A lot of people have said to read this before the second book, but I read the second book already. And so I'm not sure whether to read this or Heir of Fire first. Someone needs to tell me, because I don't know. When I'm reading things through the first time, I generally read them in publication order as the author intended, but books belong to their readers and I don't even know. Tell me, do I read this before Heir of Fire? You are my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Another exception was new releases that I really wanted to read. So the first one was a pre-order, and that's Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins, the sequel to Rebel Belle. I already read this. I read it so quick. It's really short. This is a really freaking pretty book too. I love these covers. Look at that. Look at it. Look. Are you looking at the cover? How pretty is it? I just saw my face next to the book. That's the face of a Southern belle. Another one that was kind of an impulse, but it was an impulse buy. I think I got it just after it came out, actually. I don't think I pre-ordered this one. But it is We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallich. You can't even see, the title is so small. This just intrigued me. I didn't hear anybody talk about this. I hadn't seen it on any blogs. I hadn't seen it on any booktube channels. I mean, people probably were talking about it, but I just didn't hear it. I love this cover. It's like cool photography, and it was really, really interesting. I'm going to do a whole video on this probably because I love this book so much. There are a couple of other books where they weren't new, they weren't a sequel, but there was kind of a time-related deadline by which I should read them. So the first one of those was Daughters of the Storm by Kim Wilkins. She's from Australia, and she was going to be at a convention not far from me, and I saw her name and I was like, hey, let's check that out in case I like her stuff, because it would suck if I read it a month later. And then I was like, yeah, I could have got that signed a month ago, but didn't. I didn't actually end up going to the convention, but I did like this book. I also love the cover. I don't usually go for the girl in dress cover. And the other one was The Duff by Cody Keplinger, because the movie was coming out. I still haven't seen the movie though. Whoops! I've already read this, sitting on my red shelf with its really bright spine. I love how bright this book is. I think there needs to be more bright, colourful books in the world. The next book I actually didn't buy. It was in a Loot Crate. I subscribe to it. It's a monthly box. But I was so excited when I opened this one. My family knows that I get random stuff in this box, and they're always like keen to see what's in there. And I opened it up and I just went ballistic. I was like, this is amazing! And my family was staring at me like, are you okay? Are you? Just sit down. And I was just like freaking out over this book. My sister and my dad were in the corner and they're like looking at me. And then they look at each other and they just start applauding. Like, well done. You seem really proud of that purchase. Okay. But that book was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is probably the one book that I regretted not buying before I went on this like book ban type-esque thing. I was like, I should have got this book. I should have got it. I haven't actually read it yet, but now I know that I have it and I can read it, and I will get to it soon. So yeah, it's the dystopian where everything's gone to crap and then everyone plugs into a virtual world and there's some game with a giant prize in it or something. I don't really know, but everyone's just raved about it. I haven't heard anything bad about this novel. So I'm pretty excited to read it. I did have one cheap book. I was actually really surprised that I only had one. When I was looking through the books I bought, I only had one where I was like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have bought that. Like, that was just outright breaking the system. And that was because it was on sale. And I only bought one book. I only bought one single book on this shop visit. And that book was Swerve by Philip Gwynne. Philip Gwynne is an Australian author, and he wrote the duology of the Deadly Honor series, which I absolutely love because it's so funny and smart. And this is, I believe, a road trip book, and I've heard really good things about it. So this was just really cheap at the bookstore, and I was really excited because his writing is really, it's kind of dark but kind of funny as well. Like really funny, and I really want to get into reading more Australian authors, so I figured that this was, you know, supporting an Australian author. Really excited to read this. This is my only cheat book, guys. Only cheat book. I did so good. I did so good. Yay! Until today, those were the only books that I got, but now we have an unboxing. We have unboxings to do. I'm gonna start with the Amazon one. This came way earlier than the expected date, so I'm pretty stoked. I had scissors. Where are my scissors? Ha! I found my scissors. I also just sprained my mouth. Is there an easy opening? Is there an easy access? Come to me. Ow! I think I fractured my soul. Okay, here we go. Whoa, this book is big. I didn't expect it to be this tall. Ta-da! This is The Avils by Jeremy Scott. He's the creator of CinemaSins. So if you've watched any of those Everything Wrong With, Harry Potter, or X-Men, or Hunger Games, he's been writing this book for a long time, and he said that because of the notoriety of that channel, he was able to publish the book. And I know that a lot of YouTubers are publishing books right now, but this is probably the one that I'm most excited about currently. So it's about superheroes who go to a school, like a superhero school, but the main character, while being, I think he has telekinesis, he's blind. So he has this like amazing ability, but he's also got this, what people consider a disability. And so I think he makes friends with other people who kind of have the same or in the same situation, and then they call themselves the Ables, and I don't really know much more than that, but I am so excited for this book. Also loving this cover. I didn't expect this book to be so tall. Now it comes to this book from Book Depository. This is another pre-order. I don't know which book it is. There are 2 books that are coming to me that I've pre-ordered. Let's go. Ah, it never works. Never, ever works. Why? Why? Oh, this is a cool bookmark. I'm kind of running low on bookmarks too. I'm thinking of buying some off Etsy, so if you have any suggestions of cool places to buy bookmarks, let me know. An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I am so excited about this. It just sounds really cool. What I've heard is good. It's a really pretty book too. I got it in hardcover because of the prettiness factor. We have a map. We have a map. This is not a drill. We have a map. Look at it. Look at it. So it's got like a shiny spine. It's also got embossed. I don't know if you can see, it's ST sort of embossed. She branded it. She's like, that's mine, yo. Oh, there's another map. There's a second map. There's a second map. This is not a drill. This is go time. Look at this second map. I actually know very little about this book. Pretty excited. Gonna read this one super soon. So that's my haul and unboxing. I'm super proud of myself. I've been really good about reading books that I already have, not going crazy on sales or anything. I'm gonna try and do a book stack, but I have a really sore shoulder, so I don't know if this is the best idea. Oh man, these are so heavy. This is so heavy. What are you making me do? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Abort mission. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books. Are you looking forward to reading any of these books? What did you think of them? If you went to superhero school, what would you want your superpower to be? Mine would be teleportation, because maximum sleep time. Like, I just have to teleport, just work, teleport to my friends in America. No, I'm really sad that teleportation isn't a thing, guys. I'm gonna go put these books away, but I'll see you next time. In the meantime, go read a book, or listen to a book, or absorb a book via osmosis. Ow.